So last week there was a ton of different conversations going on about Jalen Brown being robbed for Player of the Month, and the NBA gave it to Jalen Brunson for the month of December. And as a Celtics fan, I totally understand where they're coming from because when you look at the Celtics roster coming into this regular season, yeah, you had Derek White, you had Pritchard, you had Jalen Brown, and you had Sam Hauser. But outside of those guys, you wondered how is Boston going to stay relevant with guys like Jordan Walsh, who was unproven, Namus Keita. Anthony Simons is a solid guard. He doesn't play great defense, but he is a great scorer. And then you have guys like Luca Garza, you've got Shireman, all these unproven guys that you need to rely on because in the NBA, you can't just have a couple guys that carry you. You need some depth on this roster and guys who can go out there and prove it. Well, you fast forward to today, the Celtics are 23-12. They're now second in the Eastern Conference. And I know Jalen Brown had an off night, but he dropped a 50-piece last Saturday against the Clippers. And the Clippers, they've been playing great basketball as of late. I understand the Knicks, they're now third in the East. They're going through a rough stretch. I'm not backing down on my prediction of them winning the championship. Every team has a slump. I mean, the Thunder are down by 30 points right now at home against the Charlotte Hornets in the fourth quarter. So I'm not going to overreact to what's going on with the Knicks. They've had injuries to Josh Hart. Towns had an illness. He didn't play too well tonight. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to the NBA, it's ups and downs. Now, when it comes to Jalen Brown and Brunson, I was torn about this conversation because I'm thinking, well, Jalen Brunson's amazing. I mean, you still shoot 40% from three. That's excellent. 47% from the field. But you look at Jalen Brown, the numbers are better outside the assists per game, and he's not a point guard. And he's already averaging almost 6 assists a night with guys who've had to prove themselves this year. Guys like Garza, Jordan Walsh, Josh Mina. I know he's fouled the rotation, but he had some good moments for them. Derek White's solid. Pritchard's been solid. And the Celtics still need pieces to get to the contender status, in my opinion. They need a perimeter point of attack defender. They need another center on this team to really get them back on the run to win the championship. They're not that far, but to see this team in second place, or even at the time when this award was handed out, the Celtics were third in the Eastern Conference. And Jalen Brown has been phenomenal this year. You look at the numbers, you break it down, you're like, dude deserves all NBA first team. I know you've got your Wembys, your Jokic's of the world, but Jalen Brown deserves a seat at that table because you look at what he's had to carry this year. Everybody, including myself, the majority of people out there had the Celtics as a lottery team. And that's to be expected with what they had on this roster. But they have proven this is a team that is not going away. They have the right foundation built with the right GM, the right head coach, and the ownership wants to win basketball games. And that's what's important when it comes to franchises. You need a good GM. You need a good head coach, and the players have to buy into your system. It's a plus when you have good ownership, but we have seen teams in the past win despite the ownership. With all that being said, Jalen Brown deserved it. No doubt about it. Look, I love Brunson. He's been great for the New York Knicks. If you want to say, well, he won the NBA Cup, no offense. It's not really that impressive to me. Like if the Celtics ever end up winning an NBA Cup, I don't really care because if you don't win the championship at the end of the day, nobody remembers that. And the Knicks won the cup and they've had a rough stretch. And you look at the past two winners before then, the Bucks and Lakers. Now, I think this Knicks roster is better than both of those rosters. But they struggled after the NBA Cup. So hopefully that's not the case for the Knicks. I think it's a series of injuries to the rotational pieces in Josh Hart. I know Towns had an illness, and they just got wiped off the floor by the Pistons in the second half. So hopefully the Knicks will figure it out. I'm not worried about that. But this conversation about Jalen Brown, man, I like the competitiveness. I know people have criticized him because he just wants to win. Like he had this post here, SMH for Player of the Month, and he says I'm the best two-way player in the NBA. Look, I love the confidence. People can be mad or say, oh, you need to focus on the team. He's a finals MVP winner. He's won an NBA championship. Why not be that confident in yourself? Go out there and hoop. The team is playing great basketball without Jason Tatum. And they lost championship pieces on this roster. Horford left in free agency. They had to trade Holiday and Porzingis. Cornette is now gone. And they haven't skipped a beat. Ever since they started 0-3, they are 23-9. Like, think about that. They are a phenomenal basketball team, and they've had to adjust on the fly. If they keep getting more experience, and Jason Tatum comes back for their playoff run and he's about 80, 90% ready, they got a great shot to win the East again. I mean, it's just incredible what Jaylen Brown has done leading this group, being the guy, taking accountability. And I love the competitiveness. You go out in LA against Kawhi Leonard and you drop 50 points. Dude was a beast. He had a play on Derrick Jones Jr. He just drove to the middle of the lane, pulled up, got enough arc on the shot, and it was just a sweet mid-range jumper. He's been getting so much better in his game. It's amazing how he was drafted. The Celtics fans booed him. I was unsure about him at the time, but seeing his progress and his development, I hope he's a forever Boston Celtics. I want him here for good because I believe in his game and the intangibles and leadership of Jaylen Brown. You pair that with Jason Tatum and the roster that the Celtics have put together, it's incredible. I'm very fascinated by what the front office of Boston is going to do in the next few weeks. Are they going to just shed salary? And they probably will. But are they going to make some upgrades to go after another championship? And that's just crazy to even think about. Now, I understand we're a long way away from that conversation because, again, we have to see a little, in my opinion, I need to see a little bit more from this team. But you look at the schedule for the Celtics, and Jaylen Brown isn't going to back off or settle. Got the Nuggets coming up. There's no Jokic. Got the Raptors. Got the Spurs, the Pacers, the Heat, the Hawks, and the Pistons. And the Pacers, the Nets, the Bulls, the Blazers, and Hawks, and Kings, and Bucks. The schedule coming up isn't that hard. Let's just say they go out and win 5 of their next 6 games. Now you're 28-13, and you're thinking to yourself, Brad Stevens, go make a move. You look at what Jaylen Brown's doing, man. He deserves All-NBA first team. There's no doubt about it. He should have won Player of the Month. And this guy also deserves to be in MVP conversations. You could say, oh, the Celtics are always going to be good. Yeah, imagine taking this roster and getting it to this position in the Eastern Conference. That is impressive stuff. I understand Jaylen Brown didn't have the best night, but for the most part, this entire season, Jaylen Brown has been incredible. For what he's done, it deserves more conversations. Like, he's shooting 51% from the field and 37% from 3, averaging 6 rebounds and 5 assists a night. He has a career high in assists, and he's averaging the most points ever. Obviously, you're going to average more without Tatum in the lineup and not having Holiday or Porzingis around anymore. The team is still second in the Eastern Conference. Like, it's just crazy what Boston is doing, and I'm just thoroughly impressed. He should have won Player of the Month. And again, that's no disrespect to Jalen Brunson. You just got to look at the numbers. It backs it up. I understand Brunson and his team went 10-4. You can say, well, if you count the cup game, that's 11-4. But I'm like, look at the roster. It's better than Boston's, in my opinion. But you just never know. Like, if Jordan Walsh, I know he hasn't been playing as much lately. I understand that decision by Joe Mazzulla because I like Jordan Walsh. I think he should be starting for the Celtics. Imagine when Tatum gets back, you got Brown, Jordan Walsh, Jason Tatum, Peyton Pritchard. I think he'll be the backup guard. So Derek White and Neemias Queta. That lineup and the defensive versatility they're going to throw out there is crazy. Now, they might need another point of attack defender for just keeping up with the quicker guards. That's why I said that's probably a need they should look into. But maybe Jordan Walsh keeps, getting better as a defender. He looks elite already. Needs more playing time and experience, but we shall see. Or maybe Boston goes out there and gets a experienced vet who fits a timeline of your Pritchards, your Whites, your Tatums, and Browns. It's fascinating stuff, but this guy's been unbelievable. I'm just excited as a Boston fan. I'm really happy to see this team playing well, and I can't argue. Dude, hooping and just keep playing good basketball. Like, Jaylen Brown's incredible as a player, and the leadership has been impressive. And to me, in my opinion, he should have been the player of the month in December. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today, my thoughts. If you agree with what I said, I'd love to hear what you have to say about Jaylen Brown. If you disagree, that's fine as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all on the next one.